In this video, I will explain how we can use Microsoft Excel to solve most time value of money problems. Most time value of money problems deal with 5 variables. Let me explain those 5 variables on a timeline. On the timeline, on the left side, we have the initial deposit. Sometimes we call it principal, but normally we call it present value. So the present value, PV, represents the beginning balance on an account, the beginning balance of an investment project. And then I introduced, we have tick marks. Each tick mark represents a period. Again, I want to emphasize how a period is defined. A period is defined as the time it takes for the investment to make one interest payment. During each period, there will be an interest rate. So that's the period interest rate. So that is the rate. The rate represents the interest rate to be paid over one single period. And then on the right side of the timeline, we have the total number of periods here. So that is the number of periods MPER. MPER represents the length of the investment, how many periods we have here. And then the ending balance on the account is called a future value. So FV represents the ending value, ending balance on the account. So those are the 4 variables we have met so far. There is a 5th parameter. Besides the initial balance and the ending balance, there may be some cash flows over the period. For example, the investor can make deposit, can make withdrawals over this investment time. So the cash flows in the middle are called payments, PMT. Most time value of money problems deal with the 5 parameters, the 5 variables. Now let me just summarize the 5 variables on the board. Again, let me repeat their meanings. PV represents the beginning balance, the present value. Rate is the period interest rate. MPER represents the total number of periods in the problem. It is the length of the investment. FV, future value, it is the ending balance on the investment. PMT, which is payment, it represents the cash flow over the investment period, the cash flow besides the beginning balance and the ending balance. Up until now, we deal with a single cash flow. So we make one deposit, we wait for some time, earn some interest rate. We want to know the ending balance. There is no cash flow besides the beginning balance and ending balance. So up until now, in all the problems we are working on, the payment is 0. The payment is 0, but in the future, in the next lesson, the payment will be non-zero, but that is for the future. Each among the 5 variables, as long as we know 4 of them, we are able to solve the 5th one. For example, let me just put down here, this is a 0, so this is at the current time, this is a given number. Now, for example, if we know the initial deposit, we know the interest rate per period, we know how long we are going to invest. Given there is no cash flow besides the initial deposit, we can solve the future value. Each variable has an Excel function. So for example, here, if we know the four of them, we can use the FV function in Excel to solve the future value. So let me show you how we can use Excel function, FV function, to compute the future value in the next video.